need to know it. In any case, it's so great to be here and reading with Vincent in honor of this incredible book. Your piece with Charles was reminding me of a poem. Louder! Okay, it was reminding me of a poem where I wrote it a long time ago, but it's only in Spanish, and it's sí, no? No. Sí? Sí, sí? No. Sí, no? Sí. Sí. Sí? No, no, no. Sí, no. No, no. And it all makes sense. It was just sí, no. Anyway, I thought I'd try to retrieve it from memory. It's been a long time. But your performance was so inspiring, I had to give it a go. So I'm reading a piece called Parable. Can you hear me now? Is this good? Because I can't hear the mic, but okay, I think that's better. Good. So this piece is called Parable, and it was written at the instigation of Caroline Bergwall, who I know we share a fondness for. So here it is, and then I'll read some newer stuff. Parable. Trees, pillars in nature's temple, speaking vague, perplexing words, shimmers of verbal nuance, often nonsense in this language, obfuscation. Confuse parole easily becomes palabras confusas, not to be taken for confused or subdued words. The adjective describes the word's effect on their recipient, not their own state. The syntax of placement is key. Do they utter darkling whispers? Is theirs a soft language, half strange, half understood? Their messages ramifying. Aviso. La palabra palabra no está en el diccionario. Diccionario histórico de la lengua española. Palabra. Metathesis of the Latin parabola, from the Greek parabole, a comparison, juxtaposition, para, alongside, and bole, a throwing, casting, beam, ray. Parable, doublet of parole, comparison between narration and vulgar Latin and parabola becomes palabra, the word for word. Mathematics. A parabola is a curve where any point is equidistant from a fixed point, the focus, and a fixed straight line, the directrix. An instructive allegory. If an utterance is a curve, all of its points are at an equal but growing distance from its focus. A line of verse is not to be taken for a directrix. Confused, doublet of confound. Confusion, circa 1300. Overthrow, ruin, from Old French, disorder, confusion, shame, 11th century. Confound, circa 1300, to condemn, curse, also to destroy utterly, from Anglo-French confond, Old French confond, 12th century. Crush, ruin, disgrace. All from the Latin confundere, con, together, and fundere, to pour. To confuse, jumble together, bring into disorder, especially of the mind or senses, disconcert, perplex. Sin orden ni concierto. Old English word. Speech, talk, utterance, sentence, statement, news, report, word. From Proto-Indo-European ved, speak, say. A girl stands alone on the road. Her thoughts are in another language. She takes in a playground abutting a gully outside a housing complex at the southern edge of the city. An empty swing set on a concrete platform. Stray dogs on the other side of the wire fence. The wind rustles the foliage of surrounding trees. They speak to her for the first time, yet she can't put what they say into any of the words she knows. She contemplates the dance that initiates the drift of spores, allowing the trees to go on multiplying. Okay. I'll just read you a few post-poems that are part of a sequence called Dream Caravan Dream. An exemplary chair marrying wicker and iron. Modern spirited, it support crisp, crisscrossing rods. The seat's materials extracted from and best suited for lounging anywhere in the vast region between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn. As if designed for dream recollection, it was sold to me by déjà vu and later placed for optimal vantage. I take my seat and gain a view of the wilderness. It all comes back to me then. I teach at an art school that has relocated to Acapulco. I've arrived to run a couple of workshops on repetition. Faculty have transplanted their New England homes to this port city well past its golden era. Only the tents don't clash with the architecture. Under one of them, a group of students in prairie dresses talk ecstatically about Elle's divination workshop. How do coming events cast their shadows? Sunlight, grasses, breeze, skin clinging heat in the form of humidity. Horse-drawn carriages go by. Where are the palm trees? We are not in Appalachia. One of the artists keeps calling out to me by the wrong names. Clara, Lucia, nearly synonymous with lucidity. I'm off to another dream. My void is called to my sister, said the voice I didn't have. Morning thoughts with the consistency of music. A sustained undoneness. Confession distorted as if in translation. Ions, eons, and other easily confused words. Reduplication, or the erotics of indeterminateness, rendered as a series of folds. In a single sentence, such as, synapses are plastic. Me pierdo en el tiempo. A day's third devoted to shedding dead cells. Analysis, all memory. Other instances include, the more a patch of grass is trampled, the clearer the path becomes. A memory of walking is being created. Also, winding, flim-flam, back to back. When asked what transpired, she heard herself blurt out, I'm not a revenant. Sitting at the edge of the bench with a partial view of the screen unless I make an effort to see the whole picture. When I do, someone complains that I'm blocking the view. Jay, sitting in the audience, starts blasting incomprehensible pronouncements. He's mocking lawmakers who've just passed an outrageous bill in Congress. Expanded cinema. The film is also a book. A young, bedridden woman seeks her true identity. She finds it at the end, but the knowledge makes all that came before acquire a different meaning. We go back to the beginning. On second read, we realize it's her twin who's discovered her identity. The sisters have been next to each other the whole time. One is clothed, and the other one is naked. I turn to the audience and tell them that poetry is law. Explain yourself, someone demands. We owe our feelings, don't we? I ask. The audience begins to disperse. A tourist who's announced he's lodging at the Seasons Hotel watches me put my boots back on after I wipe my feet clean. The floor is full of dirt. The last scene is a close-up of feet. One twin is the right foot, the other one is left. Okay, we're going to do two more. Two editions of a non-existent book. A probable book in which New York School poets discuss the composition of their works. I'm participating in the launch and have traveled with a group to a city reminiscent of Tokyo. We're trying to find the venue and enter the wrong building. The more we get lost, the less I remember what I'd planned to say. A asked me to go fetch a copy of the book, which she forgot at the hotel. I get even more lost, but manage to locate it. Her copy includes a facsimile of her journals. I can't find the pages I earmarked in my own copy of the second edition. I walk into the auditorium a half hour late, carrying a giant, filthy bat in each hand, which I proceed to hide between velvet curtains. The poets are seated at a picnic table on stage, and there's a Ouija board on the table. M is there. The other A is there too. She tells me to sit on the bench across from her. I would prefer not to. If I want to face the audience, I'd have to turn my back to the other panelists. Also there, D and G with her new boyfriend, although it's not G, it's B. I'm still sore that she lied to me. I'm trapped on stage and have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm relieved when the moderator begins querying us about our own creative processes. There are two planes, one exterior and one interior. The first requires that your antennas are out, that you allow yourself to be guided by whatever is happening outside. The interior one, on the other hand, is like a square by Joseph Albers inside another square that is the exterior of the inner exterior. I lose my train of thought, but the moderator doesn't notice. Her fingers are gliding on the Ouija board. I repeat the poem in Spanish a number of times so I can transcribe it upon waking. It's so simple I can't possibly forget it. Later search takes me to the sole extant recording of Alejandra Pizarnik's voice. She reads a poem by Arturo Carrera whose title translates to written with a nictograph. El escriba ha desaparecido. The phrase future historian of feelings in another notebook. El poema se abre, remembering sediments. Esa es tu fuerza. Only the translator might be able to decode them according to the cathartic method. I'm given a book of hers wrapped in craft paper. No trace of the poem, just a password in gift form.